Hi, Katie.
Hi. How's it going?
Thank you for coming to the studio.
No problem. Happy to be here.
You're our early morning session. It couldn't be me.
It might be afternoon now.
It might be afternoon now, yeah. I have my watch still set to LA time. Because we're here in New York. You're from Nashville.
I am, yeah.
So what brings you to New York today?
Well, okay, so correction, I'm based in Nashville. I'm actually from Philadelphia, outside Philly. And my family actually lives here now. So I was kind of in between New York and Philly my whole life. But I am here for sessions up in the Northeast. And then I fly out to tour on the West Coast tomorrow.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. Amazing. I am also a Pennsylvania boy.
No way.
Yes, I am. I grew up maybe 3 hours from Philly.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm like 30 minutes from the city.
Yeah, there you go. What kind of music did you grow up with around Philly?
Ooh, grow up with? I was in the classical music scene because I play viola and violin. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was doing for most of my childhood, and that's what I was mostly exposed to. But yeah, I also did Irish traditional music, and that's a whole different story. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I couldn't tell you much about the Philly music scene because I wasn't old enough to go to bars and stuff. So,
right.
You know?
That's true. So did the viola and the violin, did you start playing that because of the Irish traditional music? Yeah,
actually. So fun fact, my family is of Irish origin, and I was so blessed to be able to go to Ireland every summer until I was 18. My grandparents are from there, so they have a house there. And that's where I spent my summers, and my mom would just send me to camp to learn Irish fiddle tunes. That was my first introduction to anything any kind of musical training. And then I came back to Philly, and they were like, you know what, we don't need any more fiddle players. We have enough. Play viola.
Sure. So you learned Irish traditional music straight from the source.
Yep. And
was there sheet music involved with that, or is it a lot of just playing by ear?
It's all by ear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how has that worked with your, I don't know, because you went to music school then. Mm-hmm. And I feel like people who have learned music in a more of a by ear kind of oral tradition way sometimes struggle then to apply the black and white, paper traditional classic stuff. Did you struggle with that?
I am horrible at sight reading. To this day, I am. But what helped me, especially going to Berkeley and for college, was learning theory. And specifically being able to put names to what I was trying to communicate with other musicians. Mm-hmm. It's just really rapid fire when you know what you're talking about in theory terms. So that's been helpful, but still could not read sheet music for my life if you put it in front of me. So.
Did you listen to a lot of pop music growing up?
Yeah, that was my main thing as a kid, I would say.
Who were some of the artists?
Sarah Bareilles is definitely one of my biggest influences, favorite artist as a kid. Mm-hmm. Owl City.
Okay, Owl City. Okay, Fireflies.
Is that pop? I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Pop Adjacent.
Who?
Maybe Pop Adjacent.
I was like, who's that?
Yeah,
I've never heard of him. Who else? I'm blanking on my entire life right now. Can we move on?
We can move on. We can totally move on. There's probably a lot in there. Your parents are both from Ireland?
Yeah, my mom's side of the family is, yeah.
Okay, and do they both make music as well?
Actually, no. So another fun fact, kind of a more personal one, I am adopted.
Okay.
So I am nothing like the people that I grew up with. Yeah. They all have their own specific strengths. My mom's a healthcare worker. She was on the front lines for COVID.
Wow.
My brother is a welder. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he does a lot of it's so random, right? But it was always a music loving house. Mm-hmm. So my mom was always playing Mozart when I was a kid and Irish fiddle tunes. And, my dad, my late father, his favorite band was U2. So we would always listen to that album on the way up to New York to visit family and stuff.
Good taste.
Yeah.
Good taste. It's U2, Irish traditional music, Owl City, all distilled now into your current artist project. Would you say that you pull from all those places with the music that you write?
Absolutely. I think though, as I kind of matured as a musician, I kind of went backwards in time. Now, a lot of my influences are Stevie Wonder, Billy Joel, people that are super soulful and piano ballad focused storytelling, a little bit of that theater stuff in there. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, that's where my focus shifted as I grew up. Mm-hmm. But definitely still a lot of Sarah Bareilles and I don't know. Some people compare me to Fiona Apple sometimes. Cool. And Regina Spektor. So that quirky instrumental type thing. I don't know.
No, that's amazing. Are you kidding me? I would be thrilled to be compared to those people.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a time where anybody can be an artist. There's a million of us out there chugging along, trying to do the thing. What do you think sets your project apart?
I think definitely the focus on strings and, you know, obviously it catches people's attention when I'm playing the viola at all in general, but also playing viola and singing at the same time is something that you don't see a lot of people doing. And I think people kind of draw, there's like a certain genuineness. Is that the right word? Genuinity? It feels like it should be genuinity. Anyway, you know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. There's a certain like just purity about that. It's like very direct, and I also think that one of my strengths is storytelling, and just being very specific in my lyrics. That's something I'm working on too, being more specific and like personal and in that way relatable.
Totally.
Yeah, it's very honest.
Are your songs all about your own experience?
Yeah.
Yeah?
All of them are true stories.
Okay. So that's also very vulnerable.
Yeah, of course.
So in terms of the community that you've built around your project, do you think that community continues to grow as you delve deeper into your own like vulnerability?
Absolutely. And I'm actually already like starting to work on my next project after this one that's coming out. And it's getting even more personal and even more like calculated in the lyrics. And I just wanted to go slow with this one and like really dive deep and make sure that what I'm saying is exactly what I mean. And I think people are going to respond to that.
If that's the evolution, where do you think that in the past maybe you have fallen short of that?
I think a lot of my past songs I've been like, I want to write a banger. Like I want to write like this crazy chorus that everyone's gonna like. For example, one of my songs on this album is called Side Plot, and I got that term from like TikTok.
Yeah.
Like oh, it's a side plot. This little someone's telling a story. They're like, oh, that was a side plot. That was not the main event. So like, that's cool and all, and I think I've gotten a lot of attention that way. But at the same time, I'm like, I forget all that. Like, there's no buzzwords anymore. Like we're just gonna say what we mean. Totally.
It's so interesting too. I feel like maybe like the 2000s and 2010s were defined by like a declarative chorus.
Right.
You know,
like
the Katy Perry's and the Sias. Yeah.
Right.
Totally. But I feel like now, 2024, there seems to be this almost, dare I say, like a folky renaissance to music where that kind of vulnerability I think is going really, really far. I see it with just a bunch of the big artists today, Shawn Mendes and his new project, and SZA, and just all these people that are really kind of on the Noah Khan. Yeah, just like on the pulse of kind of that vulnerability. It's interesting to see.
Yeah, totally.
I'm with it. It was such a joy to hear you play viola and sing.
Thank you.
I think that viola, violin, cello, any of those string instruments already have such like an inherent vocal quality to it.
Right.
Then when you add a voice on top of it, it just becomes this dance that's, I don't know, it's brilliant to see. You said you did the loop pedal today for the first time in front of people?
First time in performance, yeah. I've done like TikTok videos with it, but this is different, I think.
It is, I don't know, it tells me a lot about you as a person that you would take a risk like that today and still pull it off so well.
Thank you. Tour
me about the loop pedal in your project. Is that going to be something that we can expect from Katie moving forward?
Definitely in live performance for sure. This tour I'm going on is going to be using the loop pedal, so hopefully that all goes well with that. No technical difficulties. But yeah, I basically brought that in because people that close to me that work with me and people on the internet keep demanding more of the viola voice duo, and it just gets to a point where some songs like you can't like just easily do. It's in a weird key for the instrument, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get something that's gonna help me a little bit with that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's been great so far,
and also saves money. You don't gotta hire somebody to accompany you.
In the long run, yeah. It feels like when you're purchasing it doesn't, but in the long run it does.
Right, totally. Who are some artists that you listen to today that you think everybody should be turned on to?
Ooh, that's a good question. Clean Cut Kid is the first band that comes to mind. Don't ask me anything about that. I don't know anything about their origin, but I just know they popped up on my Discover Weekly. They have some great like kind of soulful rock pop vibes. Who else? The Brazen Youth is a really cool indie band, kind of like more undercover. I I know them personally, so it's a little bit like, you know, biased, but I love them. They're great. And let's see if I can think of anyone else in the next 5 seconds.
It's got to be kid or youth, because you had a kid, you had youth.
Oh, true.
So it's got to be like Childish Gambino.
Young Thug. No, I don't listen to Young Thug.
Yeah, no, that all works. That all works.
Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. I like to compile like a little list of all this stuff and just try to check out.
Yeah, make a playlist.
Last question for you. The Katie that's at the Irish camp, learning the fiddle by ear, doing the whole thing, what would she think about where you are now?
I think she'd be really proud, and this is kind of piggybacking off of what you said about like coming in here doing this for the first time. I think she'd be proud that I'm growing by kind of putting something in front of myself every time that's a little bit too hard for me, or what I think is a little bit too hard for me. Like challenging yourself a little, pushing yourself a little bit too far, because I think that's how you truly get better. Even though it's stressful and like even painful sometimes and like so frustrating, I think she'd be really proud that I'm doing that, and she'd be like, oh, so it works, you know, like, so these hours of practice actually do something.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And it's like that kind of constant reinvention and evolution that keeps it interesting for us as well.
Totally.
I'm with you. It's great to meet you, Katie. Great to hear you. Thank you for being here.
Of course. Thank you.
We can end with a little squeeze. I like the squeeze.
What is it? Like this?
I like this.
Oh, yeah.
I also liked where you were going.
Yeah,
This feels like us. Yeah, that's good. Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey stunning people, if you're loving our music, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe, and comment below who you want to see next.